Objective number 2. Obtain information from or about the graph of a function. In example number 2 below, the function f is a function and its graph was. So in part A, they asking us to find f of 0, f of 3 pi over 2, and f of 3 pi. You notice that the 0, 3 pi over 2, and 3 pi, they are inside the parentheses. So in terms of input and output, this means the input. F of 0, if you input the 0 into the function, what do we get? We get the output, right? So the output is the y, the input is the x. So now we look at the point that have the x part 0. So the x part 0 is this point, and that's it. So that means f of 0 give us the output is 4. This is mean x equal to 0 and y is 4. You remember, if you make the table, you have x and y, you put the 0, then you will get the answer 4 in the output. So 0 is the input. So similarly, we will do f of 3 pi over 2. So looking for the points that has 3 pi over 2 in the x part. And the output is 0, right? And f of 3 pi in the x part, 3 pi. 3 pi is right here. The output is -4. Problem B. What is the domain? The domain is the set of all x value. So we look in the function. So you see that the lowest number going from the left side is 0, and the biggest number from the right hand side on the x part is 7, not 7 pi over 4, but it's 4 pi. Okay, it's 4 pi. Right here is 4 pi, this point. So we look at this segment right here. So we have the x from 0 to 4 pi. The domain is from 0, including 0 and 4 pi. And part C, the range. The range is the y part. So we look at right here. The maximum for the y is 4, and the minimum is -4. -4 to 4. Part D, list the intercepts. They record for us the intercepts. We have two kinds of intercepts, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The meaning of the x-intercept is that x-intercept is just the points on x-axis, okay? And y-intercept is points on y-axis. So look at the x-axis. You see this point on the x-axis, this point on the x-axis, this point and that point. So we have 4 points on the x-axis. So they are the x-intercept. Pi over 2, 0, 3 pi over 2, 0, 5 pi over 2, 0, and 7 pi over 2, 0. So you notice that the x-intercept has the y part 0, and the y-intercept is the point on y. So the point on y, we have this point, and that's it. We only have one point on y. The answer is 0, 4. So the y-intercept has the x0. In part E, how many times does the line y equal to intersect the graph? y equal to is the horizontal line. The graph of y equal to is like this. It's a horizontal. Okay. So we're looking for the points where it intersects the graph. So we look at this one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it meets the graph 4 times, right? So they ask you how many times. We will answer is 4 times. So 4 times. Part F. For what values of x does f of x equal -4? What do we see -4 here in terms of input and output? This is what? Output, right? Output. Okay, so the x is input. So input you don't know, and the output you know. If you think about the order pairs, this is mean -4, and we don't know the x. -4 is on the y part because this is the output. So we're gonna look in the graph and looking for the points that has -4 on the y part. So we have this point and this point that has y -4. So they're asking us what values of x. So the x value are, we have 2 chi, right? 2 x value, pi and 3 pi. So x equal pi and x equal 3 pi. Problem G. For what values of x that f of x greater than 0? F of x greater than 0. What is f of x? X is the input, f of x is the output. The output bigger than 0. So they have to be anything that above 0. We look at this graph. So we look at the interval that I'm going to highlight. So they are above the x-axis. So the answer will be in those intervals. For the first one, we will answer from, we're gonna answer the x part. So from 0 to pi over 2, we include the 0, but we do not, because if we include in the x-intercept, that will be equal to 0. But the problem give us not equal to 0, does not have the equal sign, so we're gonna exclude pi over 2. So we just answer. Okay, so let's highlight one more time. So we just answer this piece. Okay, now let's answer this piece. The x part of that piece is from 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi. 3 pi over 2 is on the x-axis, so we don't include it, and we include 2 pi. And then union. Now let's answer this piece. Oh, by the way, we can put them together. So that piece is the whole thing, so we can put them together. So that will be from 3 pi over 2 to 5 pi over 2. And then this one. From 7 pi over 2, 4 pi.